Mutahar of Some Ordinary Gamers had a podcast with Oompaville and Nux Taku, emphasis on had. Nux Taku is no longer a part of the podcast, but according to Muta, that's just a coincidence. The timing has nothing to do with the Ava Tyson, MrBeast, Shadman leaks or any of that. It's totally unrelated. He had a conversation with Chud Logic about it.
I'm hearing and seeing a lot of rumors and criticism of Nux Taku for his connection to Shadman that many are saying he's trying to disassociate himself from now because it's controversial. Do you have any perspectives or takes on that?
I haven't followed anything on it. I did have a call with him, and he did tell me like they interacted before. I think it was like the collab shit, and from just like behind the scenes, he told me that this was all like a fucking joke or something at the time, which is like I never pressed so hard into that just because I have no knowledge of like how far his relationship goes. All I know about Shadman is like the last 6 days, there's been a fucking mega leak of everyone's interactions, like Elvis the Alien,
Everybody's going down. Yeah, I just did a video on Elvis too.
Nux, everyone. So it's like I don't know the
Well, I mean, not even really going down. With Elvis and Nux, I don't think they're gonna go down for this or anything. The way Nux is acting is a little bit weird. He's more dodgy about it. Elvis kind of addressed it more openly.
extent of it, but obviously it's a disavowal if he ever obviously wanted to collaborate with him in a meaningful way or like defend him or something, you know?
Yeah, sure. Obviously, I don't want to like super hardcore hold you to account for someone else's actions.
And I also just want to say I don't ever would believe that Nux would have no idea about the Shadman child lolly drawing stuff. Like that would make no fucking sense. He's been in this space long enough to know better. So if this was like a genuine interaction, like I have no doubt as somebody that is in the anime culture to not fucking have any clue that Shadman was doing crazy shit. Like you'd have no, if I knew that Shadman was drawing fucking kids and doing crazy shit, Nux definitely did, and that's never okay.
Okay. Are you gonna keep him off the podcast?
No, we would cancel the podcast. It's not.
Yeah, so he says, "Oh no, we canceled the podcast already. It's unrelated, just coincidence, bad timing, I guess."
Not happening. The podcast
Dude,
is done.
this is hard because obviously, people want me to
Podcast
fucking...
is done. Yeah, podcast is done now.
Wait, what?
Yeah, the podcast is over. We
Catch up,
are
Chud.
not filming the last episode. It's over.
Is that are you serious?
Yeah, we're not doing the podcast anymore. It's done.
Why?
We're supposed to film on Tuesday. Well, there's a couple reasons for it. A lot of that was obviously some of the Shad stuff too, because we were kind of sitting there. We're like, me and Caleb, we were just like, this is, I don't know, it's weird. The other thing was we just want to redo things, maybe like 2 months down the road or something, between each other, and that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah, so he says between each other, but without Nux. This sounds like.
Damn. Like Taku getting iced out. Sorry.
I mean, for me, for like Nux or whatever, like I talked to him and he's a good friend behind the scenes for sure. And this whole situation, like I would have to really look into more of his involvement and like everything. Like if you want to walk me through it, like I'd be completely fine. I just have not had the chance to like really look through every single message.
Yeah,
he told me that he interacted briefly.
I followed the Elvis the Alien stuff. I've looked a little bit at the Nux stuff, so you'll have to bear with me. This is my vague understanding of it, okay? So, please take it with a pinch of salt. But my basic understanding of it is that NuxTaku presented the situation in the circumstance that he'd had very kind of, somewhat limited interactions. And then people were starting to point out, well, there's this interaction and there's this interaction and there's this interaction. One specific example is there was a screenshot showed of NuxTaku trying.
This is the one that they're talking about here, but somebody at Shadman and Nux Taku or whatever, and then Shadman says a bit too middle school, and Nux asks, "Want to collab?" And Shadman says, "Lamau, no, but your heart's in the right place." And Nux says, "Understandable. Have a nice day. I'm here when you come around." So he gets turned down. Womp womp.
To have some sort of collaboration with Shadman. That he didn't reference in his initial response to it. And I think that what people were saying was, well, hang on a minute, you were trying to collaborate with him, but you're trying to act like there wasn't this more meaningful connection. And his response was something like, well, yes, I would collaborate with him. I'd collaborate with EDP.
Yeah, so that's what he says up here. People saying I'm a liar because of these tweets, aside from not knowing about the extent of his shit, then I'd collab with all sorts of scum. Most of my collabs are trolling, and I was gonna grill him. I'd interview EDP. I've never commissioned, promoted, been friends with him.
And the reason I wanted to do that was because I wanted to take him to task or criticize him for what he'd done. And he sort of gestured to other kinds of coverage where he'd done that. And then I think the counter argument to that was, well, hang on a second. You were bringing people on not to give them like a hardball interview. It was more so to kind of jokingly mock them for things that they'd done.
Yeah, he dropped like I think 2 videos or referenced 2 videos where he said he supposedly, went in on some weirdos, but then there's Queeman or Larix or maybe both of them. They checked out the videos that he referenced and they're like, no, you're like palling around and maybe making a little bit jokes at his expense, but you're being pretty friendly with him. You're not really holding him to account or anything like that.
Of them really take them to task for the bad things that they've done. That's my understanding of it.
Well, like I said, he would obviously have known about the Shadman lore, so there is no, at least, belief for me that he did not know about the child drawing stuff. So the collab stuff is a bad look. I did not see that tweet entirely, but it lines up with what he was saying. Like, people had pointed out that he was like collaborating or some shit, or like calling out for it, but it was like a joke thing. I don't know. Honest to God, I have no idea like how close of a friendship was. But like I said, if he's in that fucking group of like content creation, like the anime side of things, then he would have known Shadman, and that would never have been okay. I feel like if he had any interaction, it should just come clean entirely. It does come across a little weird that he made a whole response, but he admitted that part. It's like, I think if you're in that camp, if you ever interacted with Shadman, just completely own up to it once, take the fucking L, and move on. But that's just weird if you're not able to. I don't know. It almost seems like kind of like hiding an interaction for no real reason. I mean,
yeah, he's kind of obfuscating what happened there. And then this Cope and Seethe guy put out this video. He said, seems Nux Taku had multiple private conversations with Shadman throughout 2021. Curious.
So Shadman takes lolly shit to another level. So Shadman is a Nazi-ish, pedophile-ish fellow. Shadman didn't just draw lolly porn. Shadman drew lolly porn of real-life people. Like, Keemstar's 10-year-old daughter got drawn by this guy in sexual art. And that is fucked up. That is...
So here he's acting like, oh, totally above it. That's disgusting. This is in July 2024 that this part's from.
Insanely fucked up. Holy shit. Now, Keemstar is my best friend, which is why I'm extra mortified about all of this. Oh, God, I don't want to know how Chris was associated with this guy. There's some really... So, I was talking to Shadman.
And then this part's in 2021, October 2021.
Weird, yeah. And,
that's a way to start a sentence.
That's a way to start a sentence. And he has some interesting takes on Gardevoir.
This is just showing in 2016, Shadman drew the porn of Keemstar's 8-year-old daughter. And so that's around 5 years before, or 5 years difference.
He can keep them. I don't think I need to hear them.
Yeah, they're weird. Dude, honestly, it was the weirdest conversation I've ever had in my life. Like, through DMs. I didn't speak to him, like, voice, but it was the weirdest conversation I've ever had in my life.
I don't think you could have a normal conversation with a guy like Shadman.
Oh, my lord. Shadman. Oh, my God. I'm scrolling through the DMs. There are a few things that he said that were interesting. And
so he's scrolling through them. He sounds like he's got a decent amount then. He talked to him at, more than just a little bit if you're scrolling.
He also says each word in, like, a different message.
Oh, he's one of those,
multiple text calls. Oh my God, me neither. Games are too corny. Sure, it's good, but games are just corny to me. So I'm not a gamer. I'm like Sans, because I spent 11 hours beating him on stream when I was younger. Point is, hereditary means passed down from generations. Genetical memory, instinct. You dig? Then why accident if you exist? You're not perfect, but you exist. Why call it an accident? Hentai is ugly to me.
This is like a fucking, like, dream journal.
He actually said all of this.
This reads like some shit you wake up at 3 a.m. because you, like, have an idea you need to put down, and then you look at it the next day, you're like, how the fuck did this come out my hands?
I don't know.
Is there
for those of you that are unaware, Shadman is a person that draws a lot of, well, I would say hentai.
This clip is also from 2021.
But when I said, hey, I've seen your hentai, he was like, I don't draw hentai. I draw digital porn that has slight, there is slight inspiration that he takes from hentai.
Yeah, so, I mean, sounds like he's aware of the type of art that Shadman made. So I don't know. It's not like he needs to have his career entirely ended or anything like that based off of what I've seen, but the fact that he's being dodgy about it is weird, Kind of like they were saying, like Muta and Chud were saying, just address it one time, come out and, say what happened, because lots of people interacted with him. If all you did was what we've seen here, then, that's not going to tank your career or anything. But if you're being all shifty and whatnot, it raises suspicions.